Nawe was a man of wealth and influence, a respected merchant in the kingdom of Zuri. His family had a dark secret, one passed down through generations. Every man in his lineage was bound by tradition to take concubines, a practice hidden from their lawful wives. Nawe was no exception. In his lineage, it was believed that the more concubines a man had, the richer and more powerful he would become, ensuring his wealth would flourish for generations to come. Concubines were not just symbols of status, they were vessels of fortune. His grandfather had 7. His father had 5. Each generation swore that their wealth and influence grew with every woman they took into their hidden households. But Nawe was different. His father had whispered a final lesson to him on his deathbed. A man who forgets his wife's heart loses control of his destiny. The concubines are for power, but the wife is for balance. Displease her, and the curse of greed will consume you. Nawe had nodded solemnly, vowing to remember. His wife, Lola, was a kind and devoted woman unaware of her husband's double life. For years, Nawe maintained the delicate balance. He made sure Lola never doubted his love. Yahweh had 3 concubines, each living in separate houses across the city, their existence known only to his most trusted servants. He believed himself in control, just as his father and grandfather had been before him. But fate had other plans. Lola was content. She bore him strong children, managed his household with grace, and believed herself the most cherished woman in the kingdom. But then came Celine. One evening, while visiting the marketplace, Nawe's gaze fell upon a woman unlike any he had ever seen. Tall, with piercing silver eyes and hair like midnight, she stood out among the crowd. There was something haunting about her, an aura of sorrow and mystery. Her name was Celine. Intrigued, Nawe approached her, offering gifts and promises of comfort. Celine was hesitant at first, but when she learned of his wealth, she agreed to become his concubine. Nawe was elated. She was the most beautiful woman he had ever possessed. Celine was different from the others, mysterious, intoxicating, her very presence like a whispered spell. Nawe became obsessed, neglecting his duties, his other concubines, and worst of all, Lola. He forgot his father's warning. Nawe's behavior towards Lola completely changed when her favorite jewels went missing. Replaced with cheap imitations, she said nothing. When he missed their daughter's birthday feast, she swallowed her grief. But when she saw the way Celine looked at him like a predator savoring its prey, she knew. Lola was no fool. She had heard whispers about her husband having concubines. She confronted Nawe, her voice trembling with betrayal. "You were supposed to protect this family," she said. However, Nawe was blinded by Selena's beauty, that he forgot everything and was arrogant towards his wife, Lola. Nawe had no idea that Celine had a secret that would cause his downfall. Celine had once been the favored concubine of King Asamwi of the Northern Lands. When she tried to escape his cruelty, the king's sorcerer cursed her. Any man who took her as his own would suffer ruin, his life crumbling to dust. At first, Nawe's life flourished. His business deals succeeded, his wealth grew, and Celine's presence brought him pleasure beyond imagination. But soon, strange things began to happen. His shipments were lost at sea, his trusted servants vanished without a trace. His other concubines fell ill, whispering of nightmares where a shadowy figure watched them, while some were found dead with silver marks upon their throats. Then, Lola grew suspicious. One night, she followed Nawe to Celine's dwelling and saw the truth. Heartbroken, she confronted him. But before he could explain, a fire broke out in the house, a fire that spread unnaturally fast, as if guided by an unseen force. Lola barely escaped, but Celine stood in the flames, unharmed, her eyes glowing with an eerie light. Nawe's world collapsed. His fortune disappeared overnight. His friends abandoned him. His concubines either died mysteriously or fled in terror. Lola, broken by betrayal, left him, taking their children with her. Only Celine remained, her presence now suffocating. When Nawe demanded answers, she smiled sadly. "You took me in, knowing nothing of my past. Now you will suffer as all men who claim me do." Nawe realized too late that she was not just a woman, she was vengeance incarnate. Desperate, Nawe sought out a help from an old wise woman to break the curse. The old woman cackled when she heard his tale. "The curse cannot be undone," she said. "It ends only when the cursed one chooses mercy, or when the last of your bloodline is wiped from the earth." Nawe returned home to find Celine gone, but his fate was sealed. Within a year, he was a beggar on the streets, his name forgotten, his legacy erased. Some say Celine still wanders, searching for the next man foolish enough to claim her. And the men of Nawe's lineage? They learned too late that some secrets are better left buried.